Yeah, we're live, Bruno.
Sure, I can see we are already live.
Okay. Okay, let's go. So, can you just read this, please? Can you read that?
It's still opening. Yeah. All right. I can. Let me see. Yes, I can read it. Before we begin recording, should I read the whole of it?
Please, yeah.
All right. Before we begin recording, I want to make sure everyone is aware and comfortable. This session is being streamed and recorded as part of UACT Lero's mission to build recovery capital and challenge stigma. Your personal safety and comfort comes first. If at any time you would like your contribution or the recording deleted, please say so, and it will be removed without question. Please remember, take personal responsibility for what you share. This is an adult learning environment, not therapy, mutual aid, or a faith-based organization. If you are happy to proceed, please give a verbal yes or use the chat to confirm you consent to the recording.
Yes.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Okay, Bruno, let's go. I'm not sure where Rabson is, but welcome.
Thank
Let's
you.
start. Let's start with the check-in. Can you hear me all right?
Yep.
All right. So I'm checking excited. I'm pleased that we're doing this. I'm pleased that we've launched the London Recovery Coaching Campus, and I'm very pleased that we're having a live stream to let people know what we're doing. How are you checking it?
I'm also checking in feeling excited because it's my first time to be on a live stream. It's a new experience, and I feel now I'm part of the big community. Here I'm seated in Uganda running a school in a village, which is part of the UACT and a big recovery community. So it makes me excited. It makes me feel part of the world.
Cool. All right, so we're waiting for Rabson, who's meant to be joining us from Zambia, but if he comes, he comes. If he doesn't, that's okay. So let's start with well, tell people about your school.
Okay. Um, I have a school. I can say I'm running a school. I'm managing a school. I started a school, and the start of this school is a big story, whereby this school
We've lost you, Bruno. I don't know if it's my bandwidth or your bandwidth, but unfortunately, we lost you. Is it me or you, Bruno?
Are you getting me now?
Ah, you've come back. I lost you for a second.
Okay, I was seeing your image was just hanging. So I was speaking about the school. I joined the Recovery Act community last year, and when I joined, I didn't have any ideas about the school. I didn't know about recovery. I was lost. Yeah, like how you can be lost in the woods or in the wilderness. But through my continued attending of the weekly containers of recovery, that's when I found my feet, or I discovered myself. And as I went on recovering from my past life, um, what came on my mind, a vision I got, was I have to give back to the community, and I have to put in the community something that can make other people heal, and that can make me to heal more. That's where the vision of the school came. And the community where the school is located is a huge community with 22 villages and a big population. This community never had a secondary school. Kids would study when they would complete the 7 classes of primary school. At the age of 11, they wouldn't have a school to connect to for higher studies. So this is where I brought my vision into the container and the community, and I was supported a lot. Then I established this secondary school in the community. So currently, since January, we now have a school serving the community that never had a secondary level school. So when the kids complete primary, the 7 classes of primary, they are able to connect in the school I started and continue with their education.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How much money did you start the school with?
If I can remember, me personally, I didn't have any money on me or in an account or anywhere. I was just this UACT community. We just came together as a family, and people contributed the amount they could. And by the end of the day, it was around $1,200 to start
US
with.
dollars.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay. So that's
yeah,
about £1,000.
yeah. So that is the amount of money we had in the account before opening the school. When we opened the school, more friends, more good people, more people who were listening to the story continued giving in their support. Yeah, but the start we had 1,200 US dollars on the account.
Okay. Great. Here comes Rabson.
Good.
All right. Thank you, Bruno. That was a good introduction.
You're welcome.
Here we have Rabson joining us. Morning, Rabson, or good afternoon, Rabson.
Yeah, good afternoon, Coach David. Thank you very much.
Cool. Would you like to check in?
Oh, yes, why not? My name is Rabson Banda, and I'm checking in feeling excited and anxious, but of course, I'm aware and grateful because of the things that are happening in my space. Yeah, so I'm checking in with those things. Otherwise, super excited to be here. Thank you.
Okay.
And
So Bruno's just given us some context around his school, his secondary school in Uganda, serving 22 villages. He started off with about 1,200 US dollars, and he just gave us an overview of that, and it fills the gap of young adults, yeah, young teenage kids, getting prepared in an education in secondary school. So why don't we go to you now, and the work that you're doing in Zambia? Tell us a bit about yourself and where you're at. You're muted.
yeah, so thank you very much for this opportunity. I don't take it so lightly. Yeah, so my name is Coach Rabson Banda, and I'm the creative founder of Elevated Initiatives, which is a social enterprise that really empowers young people with mental wellness skills and, of course, business management skills as well. So I have a mental health lived experience. Then I came across UACT, and through UACT, and I underwent through the recovery wellness coaching program, which was something that was very much impactful with regards to how I was looking at things and how, and also the kind of meaning in values and purpose that I was able to develop. It made me ask myself to say, okay, wow, what is that, of course, I'm going to do in order to also expose the young people with this evidence-based tool that I was able to develop in terms of the recovery capital that I was able to develop. So that's really made me, to start asking myself such kind of questions. So one day I was reading the Bible, and that was in the book of Judges. And the book of Judges, there is a place where Gideon was ordered to fight, to go for a war. And then out of 1,000 of soldiers that he had, he was prompted or commanded to only go for 300 soldiers. And just that really stuck me. And I thought, okay, with this thing that I've developed, put in my mind that now I'm a commander, how do I also build an army? And that army meant that how do I expose people or young people with the skills that I've been able to develop so that they could go out there and be able to create, inclusive recovery spaces for other people. And I thought, being passionate about campus life and having, staying near the university and where I was schooled, I thought, okay, make a huge impact within the university campus. So we thought of creating a collegiate recovery wellness coaching program, which is dubbed as, the On Your Mind program. And our target was to train 300 students, which we've been doing at the University of Zambia. And we launched the program. And when we started the program, that is early of this year, when just the student opened, the student that we've been able to reach out to, some of them, because we basically we've been meeting online as one way of being able to maximize on the resources that we have, because we know that globally mental health only receive about 20% funding in the health system. So we thought of maximizing on the resources, and of course, what we thought to use was, digital platforms. So we've been meeting online, and we could have students that didn't have the confidence, even just to have their camera on, like the way I'm talking. They would always have their camera off because they did not have the confidence for them to express themselves and be able to address some of the issues that they were going through. But as we are having sessions online, we started seeing, some scales, or dropping off, from their thoughts, from their intellect, such that they started, expressing themselves out. They started, being able to speak out. They are able to discover, and hear their voices. And I heard one lady who never used to even talk. Whenever she's talking, she could shiver. And we recently went to a TV program, and I was amazed, with how she was able to express herself because of being in that environment, and that's something that has really given me, the tenacity, the courage in order to making sure that how do you also extend this kind of a program to other people by equipping them with recovery capital, the ability for them to get access to their internal resources and, of course, their external resources. So that's where we are heading towards, and then being able to see that so many organizations now that we've been able to make, and I always say we've been able to see to receive the impact, without funding, and that's one thing that is very much important to notice in terms of just being able to maximize on few resources that we have within our reach. And yeah, it has been an amazing thing. And whenever I'm talking about this, I feel that, I feel that joy within my heart, and not my mind, but I feel that joy within my heart, looking at what we are doing. Because back in the days, I never thought that I would become a person that is doing what I'm doing right now, in terms of being a person of value to humanity, being able to empower other people, develop, the eyes to see what the assignment is, because back in the days, if you had to come to me 10 years ago, I wouldn't even, you wouldn't even recognize me, even the other self of me, if it was to come today, I don't think that other self of me would be able to recognize what I'm doing. So something that really empowers me and supportive, environment. Yeah. So it's always important to just, embark on a journey of making sure that one is able to develop the skill that are needed. And recovery wellness coaching is something that has been like, a map, to discover that place where you could say, okay, this is where I'm supposed to be. This is where I can, my house, this is where and that's what recovery wellness coaching has really done. It's just like, a key to get access. It's that kitchen, to your sitting room and to your dining room, but because of awareness, because I'm able to.
You're excited, eh, Rabson?
In order to be a person of, I can go. Yeah, what? Oh, yeah.
So-
Something to this. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
He gets excited, eh, Bruno? Okay. All right. So maybe Rabson will join us again. Okay. So I've just put on my virtual background to now take it to the next level. So we've got you as a secondary school. We've got Rabson working with Own Your Mind at university. And then now I'm holding the space of Recovery Coaching Campus. And both of you, as students, have come through our organization under the training side of things. You have taken your projects to be part of your portfolio of evidence. So you going creating the Hope Foundation has been part of your portfolio of evidence. Rabson doing his collegiate recovery program at the University of Zambia. They both provide evidence that you know what you're doing and that you're a legitimate organization. So let's go back to you, Bruno. Show us all the money in your back pocket that you've just been given as a loan. You need to unmute.
Can you see it?
Yeah. What currency is that?
This is Uganda shillings.
Ugandan shillings. Okay. And you got a loan this morning for that.
Yeah, I applied last week on Thursday and I got it today in the morning.
Okay. Tell us the terms of the loan.
The terms of the loan is it has an interest rate which is 2.8 per month on the whole
Wow.
amount.
2.8% per month.
Yeah,
Oh, okay. So not per annum, per month. All right.
a month.
Okay.
Uh, then it has some extra charges like insurance and some loan processing fee. And they have given me a period of 10 months to be each month there is an installment I'm supposed to take back.
What is the
I
installment?
each month I'm going to, like, they summed up everything and they split it into 10.
Yeah.
So each month I'm supposed to take a bit, which is put together with the interest.
Okay.
Yeah, in fact, when I saw the calculations, my feet felt heavy, but I thought about,
Yeah. Tell us. It's this transparency is great, Bruno. It really is great. So yeah.
because they excited me that the interest rate is 2.8, then with an insurance charge and some other loan processing fee. So I got excited. I knew 2.8% is not a big deal. But when I reached and I looked at the calculations, the interest was a monthly interest. So That's why I'm saying I felt weak, but I had to weigh the options. On 15th, the kids are reporting back to school. We don't have where they are going to sit.
Okay.
So
So with the initial startup capital that you got from people donating, you rented facilities. Yep, and you paid that as rental, and that was a building on a piece of land. And now what you've gone and done is, with some more donations, you've gone and bought a piece of land, and now you're building structure. So you've gone for a local loan to basically build a roof. Yeah.
exactly.
So
Yeah.
your kids can sit in the shade. Yeah. And then the walls will come like, okay. And that
Yeah.
loan that you've taken is how many shillings?
It's in Ugandan shillings, it's 3 million.
3 million shillings, which is about £800.
Yeah, it's about 700 pounds.
£700, and you're paying 2.8% interest a month.
Yeah.
Okay, and the term is 10 months that you've got to pay that back. Okay. And your running costs at the moment is costing you is £600 a month. So the UACT kick in the UK is supporting you with that. Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
And I'm saying this out aloud, not to embarrass, but to just really show what transparency is and how we talk about it, because there's so much stigma around money, around people that are in a culture of recovery, about charities, about African charities in themselves. So when you've got kind of ex-drug addicts handling money, doing good in the world, people are very suspicious. So there's radical honesty and transparency here that I'm modeling and bringing here. Yep. Because
Yeah.
I've been faced up against that stigma myself for a long time. Yeah, people just don't like it. So thank you for being courageous enough for me to do that. Yeah.
You're
All right.
welcome. Much appreciation.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
And Maoni as an organization, Paula and her team are using the UACT as a strategic partner as part of their CSI and CSR, corporate social investment and corporate social responsibility. So that's important. Yeah. So we're trying to look at what makes business sense and what is sustainable, and how can we practice what we preach, and how can we deliver and use technology and all this sort of stuff. So thank you for that. All right. Okay,
Thank
Rabson, let's go to you. Yeah. So at the moment you're receiving £200 a month, and you've built a whole collegiate recovery. Yep. And you're running with that as well. So and I've just got this office here which is costing £200 a month. So £1,000 a month we've got this thing going. Yeah. And Rabson, as we were cut off, I was talking about a portfolio of evidence. Yep. So as students come here, they learn the content, and then they have to do a portfolio of evidence to prove that they know what we're talking about. So Rabson, do you want to talk about your portfolio of evidence a bit, please? We broke up there.
Yeah, my portfolio of evidence is centered around the impact that we've made, especially just right here at the University of Zambia. And I believe it's not just the University of Zambia, but of course, even the surrounding organization that have been able to benefit from some of the programs that we've been able to have. And being able to create an inclusive recovery space for students is something that we know that many of the universities here in Zambia do not have. And in fact, we are the only organization, I would really confidently say, that we are the only organization here in Zambia that is really implementing a collegiate recovery wellness coaching program. And just by seeing how the students have been able to come on board, and not only to come on board and learn the skills and there and create, these, some of the things that really ignites a sense of purpose within me when I just start seeing that these students used to come, with their shoulders, in their chest, with their head down. But once they are being exposed to the frameworks and the tools that we have on this platform, they're able to go out there with their head up and their chest out and with a lot of boldness and confidence. It's something that's very much important for us to talk about and just blow the trumpet around that, because of course the support that we've been able to get from Maoni, which also sustains me in as much as I go out there and be able to have a coaching conversation with these students. Yeah, so that's one that is very much important to highlight. And then we've been able to go out, because one thing that I also want to do has been, how do we bridge in the gap between what they learn and also what they learn. Of course, how do they go out there and implement them? So it was just last month when we when we were invited by the national television to just share some of the things that we've been doing. And the people that did much of the talk were the students. And I was enamored to see that, because these are the students that were not able to talk in front of the camera. These are the students that were not able to talk in front of people, but just seeing themselves being able to engage, being able to articulate, and be able to share their transformation is something that is very much important for me to just really experience. Yeah, so that's a little bit about what has been able to happen, and through that we've now seen that. Even the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Arts have been able to highlight, and appreciate the impact that we are doing. They now invited us, to say that there is a portion of land which would also want, to maximize on with regard to just to see how do we bring in sustainability to some of the program. But if it wasn't because of the program that we've been able to see, I don't think that would have been possible. So we are seeing this, spillover effect, which is centered around the impact, not just the impact, but the positive impact that people are observing, those who are from outside. Yeah, so that's one thing that I'll just really highlight with regard to some of the things that has been happening within our space, especially in terms of creating an inclusive recovery, space where students are able to overcome, issues of unresolved trauma, pain, guilt, and even shame, because those are the things that have been common with regard to some of the students that have been able to be, to come on our platform. Yeah, I think that's one thing that I just really want to highlight, David.
Okay, great. All right, so you've got the three of us here. Yeah, Uganda, England, and Zambia. Yeah. And we're using technology here. We're using tech to kind of bring us together and to kind of unite in a common skill set. Yeah, to improve things like treatment outcomes and just education and things like that. What's our next step here? So we're like kind of putting ourselves on the line here. We're broadcasting, we're posting it on LinkedIn. What's our next step? What should we be doing?
Yeah, that's a good question. I'm one person that believes that if there's one room that is not always full, is a room for improvement. And what I mean by that is, with regard to some of the things that we've been able to do, the question that comes in is, for me personally, is how do I scale? How do I scale up? And how do I have a lens of sustainability? So that many people will be able to partake and experience some of the things that has been able to add value, to our lives. So it's really the issue of scalability and of course sustainability. So the question that I have is myself is, how do I scale it up, and how do we making sure that there is a lens of sustainability with regard to the interventions that we are implementing already as a strategy to improve treatment outcomes? And how do we also maybe collaborate with other like-minded organizations that will be able maybe to see the value and the benefit and the impact that some of our programs are bringing out, bearing in mind that, like in my country, recovery wellness coaching is something that is new, and my thoughts has been around how do we also making sure it's being able to be regulated by the health professional council of Zambia, so that places. So how do we in other ways build a strong national workforce, which by the government? So I think that's also the thought that are coming in mainstreamed in the mental health system of our country. Noticing the fact that we have the Mental Health Act, and to just yesterday when I was when the World Health Organization launched the Mental Health Atlas, and one of the things that was really highlighted was the need for community-based mental health. So the question is, how do we scale? I think that's where my line of thought is heading to. It's around scalability and sustainability.
So you broke up a bit there, Rabson, so I'm just going to summarize it. Just let me know if I got it right. So sustainability and scalability, and as a result of that, partnering with academic institutions like the University of Zambia, creating professional roles that will be accredited by the Zambian Health Professionals Council to be able to go out and provide their skill set within communities, bringing professional skill sets to developing communities. Yeah. And Bruno, your community, your village is a perfect example of how that has started to work with the youth, with young adults that have just finished primary school. We've created a school, therefore, to continue that education. So what sort of problems is your school addressing in Uganda?
I can say my school is addressing a bunch of problems. Number one is we have a high level of illiteracy in the community. Like, most people drop out of school at an early age. So that is the first thing we are addressing in the community. The other thing, we are also, because this school is an example of a recovery capital, the students are not only taking home the knowledge from the books or from the national curriculum, they are also taking home the news about recovery, because they are the first people we are in contact with. So we are also giving them everything about recovery. And I can even talk about the other problem we are solving. Even in the long run, we are addressing poverty, because most people are living below the poverty line because of many reasons. They lack education, they lack the knowledge. Many people have gone into addictions, especially men. This is because they have been getting married when they are young, and they are not ready for the responsibilities. And their wives are also still, like, they marry at a young age, and you find they have no income, they are not equipped with knowledge, and this school is going to give them the education, to give them the knowledge to survive. And what is in our strategy, this secondary school is not the end of everything, it is just the start. Many programs are coming up, and we are not going to stop in the school. We are going to move in the community with several programs for even adults, because we really need to fully empower this community in all aspects of life. So we are solving almost most problems. We need to empower people. We need to spread the gospel of recovery. We need people to be educated. We are going to tackle the environment sector, whereby we are looking at the recovery of humans, but even the environment needs to recover. And yeah, several things.
Okay.
Mental health in general, like we are tackling almost everything. This is just the opening of everything, which is going to be huge as time goes on.
So just tell us about what your students are doing with the other students in Sydney in Australia. How does that look?
Wow. Thank you for bringing that. We are having a mentorship program whereby we have university students from Australia. They are mentoring the students at our school, and they are mentoring them in mathematics, because mathematics is the subject that challenges students a lot. But apart from handling mathematics, it is kind of exchange of different knowledge, because this is a platform, the same platform where our students share with the Australian students about our cultures, our customs, the ways of life, and even those ones share. Like Africa has been a continent where people look at it like nothing good is there, but this is another way of opening it up to the world that we have good things in Africa. Our culture is better. Like there are many things which those other students in Australia are learning from our students. We are learning mathematics, but we are telling them about what Africa is, the culture, the good things, the customs, and they are also sharing. Like it's a virtual exchange of everything.
So it's breaking the stigma and the African narrative, which is really important. And yeah, and I just really both want to kind of own the fact that I only speak English. And I really appreciate you both coming here and speaking English here, which is it's so humbling. It really is so humbling when I can get past that. It's very humbling. All right, so let's start to wrap this up. How's this session been for you? Should we do more of it?
Yeah, I think there is need for us to do more of this, because one thing that I've also noticed is that it help us be accountable for what we've been able to commit ourselves to, and not only that, it also gives us, an ability to track some of the things that we've done, and of course also see what could be improved, because as I was just talking about what we are doing, there are also certain things that started coming, there are certain ideas that started coming, and then there are certain things that I was able to see that at the end of the day might need improvement. Yeah, and also just to also share some of the things that we are doing, because sometimes it's also very much important for other people to know the things that are valuable, so that in case they might need some of the things that we are doing, at least there will be an area where we can work together, because awareness is something that should be continuous, should be something that should stop, and just to also demonstrate the reality, the truth, or the fact that recovery is possible, and there's no place for us to have a lens where we subscribe into stigma and discrimination. Yeah, I think that should be continued. In summary.
Thanks, Rabson. Bruno?
Yeah, I also feel that we should do it again and again and again as much as we can, because this is an opportunity we are using to tell the world what we are doing. We are not hiding anything. We are bringing out to everyone because it has a lot of value. They always say when you move alone, you move fast, but when you move as a team, you move fast. So we need people to join us because this is like a movement of recovery, not only in urban centers, but we are planted everywhere in the cities, in the villages, deep and everywhere. So I'm sure this will help people to hear what we are talking about, see our transparency, the way we are putting everything open on the table, and join us because we need to move with a big team so that our impact can be recognized everywhere around the globe. Of course, we also need support because what we are doing has a lot of value. Yeah.
Show me the money. Show me the money. Rabson?
Yeah, in addition to what Bruno just mentioned with regards to the need of support, I think the evidence is clear. I would literally say that we've been able to achieve $1 million impact with cents. You see, now I can only imagine, like the studies shows that a $1 invested into recovery has got about 14 returns on investment, and a reduction on healthy productivity, and even the judicial system. And we are the evidence of the truth that whatever that has been invested in us is something that we can clearly see the positive impact that we are making. So yeah, there is need for us to making sure that people are able to see that invest into programs like this. It's really not just it's really being smart. Yeah.
Thank you, Rabson. Okay, so I would like to bring to onboard various academic institutions. Yeah, so building on from the University of Zambia and the School of Psychology there, and bringing in Utah, and maybe Trinity College Dublin and Derby University. Just bring some of the academic support here. That's what I would like to focus on this week. And if we could use LinkedIn as a way to reach out to get the academic support. So I'm going to push the UACT LinkedIn page, and we need to increase the following there. And then we're getting the right sort of follower, the people that are interested in this stuff. The people that are converted already, who kind of understands that this is the solution. Does that make sense? Yeah, I'm tired of trying to speak to people that don't understand. Like I'm like the evidence is here. I mean, like we're doing it. You both are doing fantastic work there. It's an absolute privilege to call you my colleagues. Absolute privilege. So thank you both very, very much. I check out with a lot of pride. And I also want to thank SpeakApp, who have donated the internal communication system, which really brings that medical credibility, like the HIPAA compliance, the POPI compliance, building, like, I mean, that really does make us a robust virtual health provider. Yeah. We're not a WhatsApp hospital. Yeah. Who wants to check out next?
I'll check out next. Checking out, feeling a lot of joy. I feel satisfied. And I'm so grateful for this opportunity. My first time on a live stream. So exciting. To you, Rabson.
So exciting to be, here, and with that, in our country, we got a saying: if people are sharing, insults online, what about you? Has got a voice of hope? What are you doing? Yeah. So if being here is something that really makes me fulfill, my mandate, for humanity. So I'm really excited, and I'm checking out, feeling grounded and hopeful. Yeah. Thank you. I submit.
Thank you, everyone. Okay.